This is Jesse
Good luck
Anthony.
getting it, but
He writes for Optum Pro Cycling, powered by Kelly Benefit Strategies, and he's joining us today from Bend, Oregon, where he's preparing for the Cascade Classic. So we can talk about that a little bit. What is your directors preaching about that race? I mean, what do you guys want to get out of that?
well, we want to win, so we're all training hard and getting ready for kind of the second phase of our season after the Nature Valley Grand Prix. We took a break, so Cascade's kind of the first NRC race that we're doing back, as a team together. So we'll be jumping in, and yeah, we're going to try to come here and win. Obviously, it's going to be a tough race. There's a lot of really strong climbers and time trial guys, and Mancebo has a pretty good grip on the NRC right now. But yeah, we come to every race to try to win, so that's our ambition right now.
Well, that's great. How old are you, Jesse?
I'm 27.
You're 27. You have a lot of years ahead of you, and you're one of the bigger engines on Kelly's team, as I watched in Nature Valley. Tell me a little bit about how you got into road cycling and where you came from.
I got into road cycling through cyclocross, actually. I started racing mountain bikes when I was 12 with my older brother Josh, and we kind of got plugged into the local scene back in Beverly, Massachusetts. And the first club I raced with was the Essex County Velo, which is just a small club there. And my brother and I both worked at a bike shop, Bay Road Bikes, now Pinnacle Bikes, that is run by the same owner from cyclocrossworld.com. So that's kind of where my roots are. And I started mountain bike racing, went from mountain bike to cyclocross, and then after a couple of years, or after my first cyclocross season, all the kids I was racing with back in New England were like, "Oh, dude, you should try road racing. You'd have so much fun." And I was like, "Okay, I guess I'll try it. Why not?" So I did my first road race, I think, when I was 13 or 14.
Wow. So you've been on the bike for a long time. Did you sign your first pro contract with Optum?
No, my first pro team was Kodak Gallery Sierra Nevada back in 2006.
Cool. And then how did that go? Did you have what is your biggest accomplishment since you've been riding your bike? Let me go there.
Last year was probably the best year I had as far as results, winning the Nature Valley Grand Prix overall, and then winning the Stage 1 at Tour of Utah last year were really, probably the highlights of my career so far.
So you have a big engine. I mean, do you have the engine to get to the next level?
That remains to be seen. I'm definitely trying, and I feel like I rode well last year and I got some really good results. I was a little inconsistent throughout the season, and that's been a big focus for me this year. So, I really do want to try to get to Europe and do some bigger races. I think the harder, longer races definitely suit me, and it's been tough trying to prove that by racing in North America where everything is so short. So yeah, I mean, it's a big ambition of mine to get to the next level, and I'm just working on it. So doing races like the Tour of Utah and the USA Pro Cycling Challenge in August will be, I think, really great opportunities for me to see what I can do.
What are your personal expectations for Tour of Utah? I know your team just got in. They're one of the Sweet 17 teams that just got in. That's a big deal. All those Pro World guys will be coming over from the Tour and riding with you. So what are your expectations in that race from a personal standpoint?
Personally, I expect it to be really difficult. It's not called America's toughest stage race for nothing. Last year I won the first stage, and I had a big roll of the dice with kind of a breakaway that I got in there, and it worked out. But it was kind of one of those 1 in a million chances, and to outclimb or outgun a lot of those big teams is near impossible for a small team like ours. So going into those races, for me personally, it's to be the best team that I can. I think we have some really strong climbers on the team, and then we have Ken Hansen, who's an amazing sprinter, and I may end up just being a domestique, as you will, for those guys, but I may also get some opportunities. So it's all about the team for me. There's no point in being selfish and just trying to go in and get a 5th place or an 8th place or something like that. If we can go win a stage and it works out that I'm riding for my teammates all the time, that's absolutely fine with me. So that's my personal ambition going into something like Tour of Utah.
That's very good insight. What can we tell a younger rider who looks at you and says, this guy here, he's riding on these big teams. I might be on a smaller team. I want to get to the next level. What are some tips that you can give them? I mean, about the process when you go in a break and how you commit. Can you give me some tips on how we might be able to help any of the younger guys from some of your experiences?
Yeah, I've always liked to try to motivate young guys, and I like seeing, um, you know, young guys and under 23 junior guys come up through the ranks. I think the first thing I would tell them is just appreciate every moment and appreciate everything that you get, because we can get caught up so much in uh, just as cyclists, we're always looking for something for ourselves, and there's a lot of people out there willing to help us. And there's I think as long as you appreciate everything that people give you, and you use it to the best of your ability, then you can have a really great career. Talent will take you so far, hard work will take you so far, but it's a lot of it's about the experience, and just learning everything that we can, and just trying to take every step forward, and like I said, appreciating everything that we have. So I mean, I still consider myself a young guy. I mean, I feel like I'm 22 and still learning so much every year. And then I look back and I know I have a lot of experience, and I see the young guys, and they're so green, and they just they obviously haven't seen what I've seen and done what I've done. So it's cool to be able to share that with some of my younger teammates. But it's kind of hard without being unless you're close to them to really to share some of those smaller things. But
who are some guys that took you under their wing to teach you some of these things? Because I know you have relationships in the sport. You're a really big name. So who are some of the guys who kind of took you and showed you some of those ropes that you needed to learn?
Yeah, back in New England, a few guys, I had a lot of help. Like I mentioned, the club Essex County Velo and Stu Thorne from Cyclocross World really gave me a ton of support when I was just a youngster, and they gave me rides to races or took me on little training rides, whatever it was. Like those little things are really what got me started in the sport. And when I look back, that's my roots and that's my foundation, and I'll always owe those guys an appreciation for just the small things they did. And after that, Toby Stanton from Hot Tubes, the Hot Tubes junior team. I can never thank him enough for what he's done for me, for the opportunities he gave me as a junior rider. Mark McCormick, my old coach when I was a junior, he was one of the best road racers in North America for a long time, and he showed me and taught me so much about racing and tactics and just being smart. And then Tim Johnson and Lynn Bissett are both really good friends of mine, and I've grown up racing with them, and certainly learned a lot from their experience and their guidance. So there's so many more
how do
people.
you take a young guy that comes out to the sport on fire, and you know how passionate they are, green and passionate is what you would say. How do you keep them riding at the level 5 years, 6 years in, being as difficult as the sport is? How do you keep them as motivated as they were when they first started?
That's really up to them. I think some of it does have to do with the direction, but as long as you surround yourself with good people, riding for Jonas Carney is an unbelievable experience, and I've ridden for a few different directors, and Jonas is very simple. He's very down to earth, and he's very trustworthy, and he'll give you an opportunity. He has given everyone on this team opportunities, and he works really hard to give us everything that we need to do the best that we can. And after that, when you look at it and you're like, man, Jonas really, or whoever it is, has really, they've done their part. Like, now it's time for me to do my part. So I think as long as you're working with people who are honest and trust you and show a little, give you a little bit of responsibility and a little bit of trust, then that as far as me personally, like that's what really keeps me motivated and keeps me, hungry to do the best I can.
Cool. Tell me about when you warm up for a race. Do you have any rituals or anything like that that you go through?
No, not really. I mean, it's different every day. Some days you're feeling good and you don't need to warm up that much, and then the days when I'm feeling bad, I warm up a lot and try to get loose. So yeah, nothing specific.
Well, that's awesome. Do you have any other questions for us?
Nope.
No. Well, we run a
Well, I
really.
would
I don't
like to
want to take
mention
too
that
much of your.
our
Huh?
team is having a World Bicycle Relief benefit at the end of the Cascade Stage Race on Sunday evening. So I hope everyone comes out. There's information on the OptumProCycling.com on the team website. So
Very good. That's all very good information. I really appreciate your time. I know your time's limited. So we just want to thank you for joining us on CyclingIllustrated.com. This is Jesse Antony.